Does the body need carbohydrates? What are they used for? Can the body survive on protein and fat alone? At this point, we've reviewed the types of carbohydrates and the process of digestion and absorption to break carbohydrates down into glucose or blood sugar. Once digested and absorbed, glucose fuels many of our body functions. Of course, fat and protein also provide energy for the body, but carbohydrate is the preferred fuel source for the brain and central nervous system, and our red blood cells use glucose exclusively for fuel. Therefore, carbohydrates are an essential energy source, and blood sugar levels are tightly controlled within a narrow range by the body. We're going to see as we move through later portions of this module the ways the body is forced to alter its uses of protein and fat when carbohydrate in the diet is inadequate. However, the body needs carbohydrates for more than just energy. When sugars form complexes with proteins, they're known as glycoproteins, they alter the shape and function of those proteins. They also bind to the outside of cell membranes where they can facilitate cell communication. So, should you avoid carbohydrates if you want to lose weight and stay healthy? Simply put, no. Carbohydrates have for a long time been falsely vilified as fattening. There's been a long history of many different types of low carbohydrates diet, from the Atkins diet to the Dukin diet to the now popular keto diet. And so for a long time, carbohydrates have been wrongly accused of being the fattening ingredient of foods. So millions of weight-conscious people have decided to eliminate many nutritious carbohydrate-rich foods from their diet for this reason. But the truth is, people that wish to lose fat and maintain lean tissue and stay healthy should actually pay much more attention to their portion sizes and calorie intake and the nutrient density of their foods, and design an eating plan that includes carbohydrates like whole grains, vegetables, legumes, fruit, because all these foods supply fiber and other needed nutrients like phytochemicals. So gram for gram, carbohydrates actually have fewer calories than dietary fats. Remember that carbohydrates have 4 calories per gram, whereas dietary fats have 9 calories per gram. But since, however, humans have an inborn tendency to prefer and crave sweeter foods, it can sometimes be easy to exceed our energy intake with carbohydrates, which may lead to weight gain. Now, the exception of including carbohydrates in the diet is added sugars, which we're going to talk about in more detail a little bit later in the module. Our recommendations to include carbohydrate-rich foods does not extend to refined and added sugars. So these added sugars don't contain any other nutrients, no protein, no vitamins, minerals, or fiber. So they're considered low in nutrient density. Yeah, a person that's choosing 400 calories of sugar, whether it's in a sugar-sweetened beverage or another similar food in place of maybe 400 calories of a whole grain bread, will lose all the nutrients, the phytochemicals, and the fiber of the bread. The dietary reference intakes recommend 130 grams of carbohydrate per day for an average sized person minimum. So 130 grams, and they recommend, of course, these healthier carbohydrate-rich foods, not the added sugars. So fruits, low-fat dairy products, legumes, vegetables, whole grains. The average intake of most Americans is anywhere from 180 to 330 grams a day. So you can see a lot of Americans are on the higher end of that average intake. And when those calories are coming from added sugars rather than the carbohydrate-rich foods that contain nutrients, fiber, phytochemicals, then we start to see a problem.